Hello students, welcome to this session. Myself Mahesh Babu from SDC College, Kola. So in this session or in this video session, we will be dealing about the numerical problems on Zeeman effect. So what do you mean by Zeeman effect? We have studied in our previous theory classes or theory videos. Zeeman effect is nothing but the splitting up of the spectral line in the presence of the magnetic field. So this is what we call as Zeeman effect. There are two types of Zeeman effect. One is a normal Zeeman effect and the other is a anomalous Zeeman effect. So in this session, we will be dealing about the numerical problem related to the normal Zeeman effect. Now let us see the problem that is given. So the problem that is given is, so calculate the Zeeman shift that is observed in the normal Zeeman effect when a spectral line of wavelength 600 nanometer is subjected to a magnetic field of 0.5 Tesla given. So what they are given? They are given a constant value, that is E by M ratio of electron. So what is E by M ratio? E by M ratio is nothing but the charge of electron to mass of electron. So this ratio is what we call as specific charge ratio of electron. So it turns out to be 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb per kg. Okay. So now we have to calculate. What we have to calculate? We have to calculate the Zeeman shift that is produced. Why? Because in the problem they have given that calculate the Zeeman shift. So what is the expression for Zeeman shift? So the expression for the Zeeman shift is given by d lambda is equal to b into E into lambda square divided by 4 pi m into c. Now let us write the given data. So what is the given data they are given? So they are given the magnetic field. So magnetic field is given as 0.5 Tesla and they have given the wavelength. So wavelength is given as 600 nanometer. So nano means it is nothing but 10 power minus 9 meter. And what next they have given? They have given the specific charge ratio of electron. So that is 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb per kg. And c is nothing but the speed of light, which is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Now let us substitute all these terms that are given. So into this formula, that is Zeeman shift formula, d lambda. So d lambda, substituting all these values, we get d lambda as the value of B is magnetic field strength is 0.5 into, there is no need of substituting the value of charge of electron and mass of electron. Why? Because they are already given as E by M. So therefore we can directly substitute the value of E by M in the numerator itself, that is 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb per kg. And here we have the wavelength as 600 nanometer. So therefore it is 600 into 10 to the power of minus 9. So since it is lambda square, so we shall put a square here. Now divided by 4 into the value of pi is 3.142 and we have already taken the mass of electron here as E by M ratio 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11. Just substitute the value of the speed of light. Okay. So if I substitute this and simplify now, so 0.5 as it is, 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 into, I can write this as 6 into 10 to the power of minus 7, the whole square, the whole divided by 4 into 3.142 into 3 into 10 to the power of 8. So if I simplify the above equation, that is numerator will be 0.5 into 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11. So for the simplification purpose, so I have taken 600 into 10 to the power of 9 as 6 into 10 to the power of minus 7, whole square remains as it is and the denominator remains as it is. Okay. Now after simplifying this, we can write this numerator as 0.5 into 10 to the 0.5 into 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 and here we have 6 square. So 6 square it will be 36 into 10 to the power of minus 14 and numerator remains as it is. If I multiply all these equations, all these values, we will get the equation as 31.68 into 10 to the power of minus 3 in the numerator and denominator we will get 37.07 into 10 to the power of 8. If I take this 10 to the power of 8 from the numerator to from the denominator to the numerator, it will be 10 to the power of minus 8 and after simplifying these two things we will get the answer as 0.8402 into 10 to the power of minus 11. So since we have to express wavelength in terms of meter or in terms of angstrom, so I am shifting this decimal point towards the left hand side such that there is an increase in the power and the power will be 10 to the power of minus 10. So 10 to the power of minus 10 meter means it is nothing but 1 angstrom. So therefore the answer for this given problem will be 0.0840 2 Armstrong. Okay, so this is the final value or the numerical solution for this particular problem will be the shift in the Zeeman will be 0.08402 Armstrong. Now let us look into the second problem. So the second problem that is given is in a normal Zeeman experiment, the calcium line has a wavelength of 4226 Armstrong. This line splits into 3 lines separated by 0.25 Armstrong in a magnetic field of 3 Tesla. Now we have to calculate the specific charge of the electron. Okay. So see here in the problem they have given as the spectral line is split into 3 lines. So this is the original line, so which is having a wavelength of 4226 Armstrong. Okay, so this is what we call as the original line. Okay, now when this spectral line is placed in a magnetic field of 3 Tesla, so this spectral line gets split up into 2 spectral lines. So totally how much we have? We have 3 spectral lines. One is the original line and the other 2 will be the splitted lines, and this shift between the difference in the spectral line of the original line and the components of the Zeeman effect is what we call as this difference in the wavelength will be called as the d lambda. So that is they have given this d lambda as 0.25 Armstrong. And we all know that, so this line will be having a wavelength of 4226 plus 0.25 Armstrong, and this line will be having a wavelength of 4226 minus 0.25 Armstrong. Okay. So now what we need to calculate actually, we need to calculate the specific charge ratio of the electron. So this specific charge ratio of the electron can be calculated by the expression for the Zeeman shift as d lambda is equal to B, capital B into E into lambda square, the whole divided by 4 pi m into C. So this is the expression for the Zeeman shift. So using this formula, what we need to calculate? We need to calculate the specific charge of the electron. So specific charge of electron is nothing but the ratio of charge of electron to mass of electron. So now let us write what is the given data. So what is the given data now? So they have given d lambda, that is the shift in the Zeeman, that is 0.25 Armstrong. And they have given the wavelength of the original line, that is 4226 Armstrong. So 1 Armstrong is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, and we know that the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Okay, and they have given the strength of the magnetic field, that is B as 3 Tesla. So using this data what they have given, so we have to calculate the ratio, that is specific charge ratio, that is the ratio of E by M has to be calculated. Since this E by M term or the specific charge ratio term is on the right hand side of the equation or the Zeeman shift, so now we have to rewrite this equation in the another form, that is we have d lambda is equal to B into E into lambda square divided by 4 pi m into C. So since we are in need of E by M, so keep this E by M on the right hand side itself and cross multiply this 4 pi C to the left hand side. So therefore it will be d lambda into 4 into pi into C, the whole divided by B into lambda square to the denominator of the left hand side, and on the right hand side we are remaining with E by M. So now we have got the chance to calculate the specific charge ratio by using the formula as E by M is equal to 4 pi C into d lambda divided by B into lambda square. I have rewritten this equation, that's all. There is nothing much change in these two equations. Okay. So what the term that we need to calculate is taken on the left hand side, and the no terms are taken on the right hand side. Okay. Now let us substitute the given equation, that is the given values, into the equation so that we can calculate the value of the specific charge ratio. Okay. So let us substitute all these given values in this expression. So therefore it will be equal to, that is E by M will be equal to 4 into 3.14, the value of pi, into speed of light 3 into 10 to the power of 8 into d d lambda, that is 0.25 angstrom they are given, so therefore it has to be converted into meter, so it is 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. Now in the denominator we have b into lambda square, so the strength of the magnetic field that they have given is 3 Tesla, so it is 3 into, so the wavelength of the original line is 4226 into 10 to the power of minus 10 the whole square. So if I substitute the value of this numerator and the denominator, so in this denominator we have shifted the decimal point from this point to this place. So therefore, since we have shifted 3 digits, so therefore the denominator, that is power in the denominator, will be 10 to the power of minus 7 instead of 10 to the power of minus 10. Now if I simplify all these numerators, that is the values in the numerator, it turns out to be 9.426 into 10 to the power of minus 2, the whole divided by, now 3 into, if I square and simplify this, it will be around 17.85 into 10 to the power of minus 14. Now the numerator remains the same, 9.426 into 10 to the power of minus 2, the whole divided by, so if I multiply this 3 into 17.85, it will be around 53.57 into 10 to the power of minus 14. Now if I divide this numerator and this denominator, the value of E by M will be around 1.759 into 10 to the power of plus 11 coulomb per kg. Okay, so this is what we needed. So that is we had to find out the specific charge ratio. The specific charge ratio is E by M. So therefore, if you simplify or if you divide this value by this value and simplify, so the final answer will be 1.759 into 10 to the power of 11. So since here we have the charge of electron, so the unit for charge of electron is coulomb, and mass we have a kilogram, so therefore the unit will be coulomb per kg. So this is the solution for the second problem. Let us move on to the next problem. So problem number 3. So problem number 3 is given as what magnetic flux density is required to observe the normal Zeeman effect in a spectrometer can resolve spectral line separated by 0.05 nanometer at 500 nanometer. See students, the main important stuff in this problem is we have to calculate the strength of the magnetic field. So what magnetic flux density means? Flux density is nothing but the strength of the magnetic field we have to calculate. Okay, so we have to calculate the strength of the magnetic field, that is nothing but the magnetic flux density. Now what the data they have given is, they have given two sort of wavelengths. One is 500 nanometer and the other is 0.05 nanometer. So two wavelengths they have given. So now let us write down those two wavelengths. So one is 500 nanometer and the other is 0.05 nanometer. So first we have to identify which is lambda and which is delta lambda or d lambda. So we have the expression for the Zeeman shift in terms of wavelength as d lambda is equal to b into E into lambda square divided by 4 pi m into c. So this is the expression for the Zeeman shift. D lambda is equal to b into E into lambda square divided by 4 pi m into c. See now they have not given the charge of electron, mass of electron, but it is known. Okay, so that is charge of electron is known quantity, mass of electron is a known quantity. So now first we have to identify which is d lambda and which is lambda in the given values. So see what they are given, they are saying that the spectral line is separated by 0.05 nanometer. So that means if 500 nanometer is the wavelength of the original line. What do you mean by original line in the Zeeman shift? That is before the application of the magnetic field. So whatever the spectral line that you are getting, that will be known as the spectral line, right? So this we have understood in the theory classes. Now when this is subjected to a certain magnetic field of magnetic field strength such that we have a additional spectral line, okay, along with this original line. So this difference between the original line and the component of the Zeeman line is d lambda, that is separation between the original line, that is they are given separated by 0.05 nanometer. So they are separated by 0.05 nanometer means from this original line about the symmetry, that means this component and this component, that is the Zeeman components that are obtained due to the presence of the magnetic field, will be having a shift of d lambda, which is given by 0.05 nanometer. So therefore d lambda will be equal to 0.05 nanometer, and obviously this becomes lambda, that is 500 nanometer. So now what we need to calculate, we need to calculate the strength of the magnetic field, that is we have to calculate B. So therefore rewrite this equation, that is keeping B on the right hand side itself and transfer this remaining terms to the left hand side such that d lambda will remain as it is. If I take this to the left hand side, it will be 4 pi m into C the whole divided by B into E into lambda square. Okay, so keeping B on the right hand side, that is we need to calculate B. So therefore I will rewrite this B as B is equal to 4 pi m C into d lambda the whole divided by E into lambda square. Now substitute the values of the given data as 4 into 3.14 into mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg into speed of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8, and d lambda they have given as 0.05 nano, means 10 to the power of minus 9 the whole divided by charge of electron is 9.1 into 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. Charge of electron is 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 into 500 nanometer. I will write this 500 nanometer as 5 into 10 to the power of minus 7 meter. Okay, so such that the simplification will be easy, lambda square. Now if I simplify the powers in the numerator, I will take all the numerical terms to one side and powers to the other side, such that it will be 10 to the power of minus 31 minus 9, it will be minus 40 into 10 to the power of 8 the whole divided by, in the denominator we have 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19. For simplification purpose I have converted this 500 nanometer as 5 into 10 to the power of minus 7, such that it will be 5 square is 25 and my 10 to the power of minus 7 the whole square, it will be 10 to the power of minus 14. So if I simplify all the numerical values in the numerator, it turns out to be 17.144 into, so minus 40 plus 8, it will be minus 32, and in the denominator we have after multiplication as 40.05 and power as 10 to the power of minus 33. Now if I divide these two terms, so the answer will be 0.4283 into 10 to the power of minus 32, and here we have in the denominator as 10 to the power of minus 33. If I take to the numerator, it will be 10 to the power of plus 33, and after further simplification we have B is equal to 0.428 into 10 to the power of plus 1, and the final answer for this problem will be there is the watt magnetic field strength or watt magnetic flux density required is 4.283 Tesla. So that is, if you apply a magnetic field to this spectral line, or if you place the spectral line in the presence of the magnetic field with 4.283 Tesla, such that the spectral line will be splitted. Okay, so we will be having a d lambda 0.05 nanometer. Okay, so this is the solution for this particular problem. Okay, let us move on to the next problem, problem number 4. So in this we have to calculate the separation between the two consecutive components of the transverse Zeeman pattern of the line of wavelength 600 nanometer when a magnetic field of 0.2 Tesla is applied. So now basically let us understand what do you mean by transverse Zeeman effect. So whenever the spectral line, that is whenever the Zeeman effect is observed in a direction perpendicular to the direction of the incident light, then we call such an effect or Zeeman effect as transverse Zeeman effect, that is also known as the transverse Zeeman pattern. Okay, so what we need to calculate, we have to calculate the separation between the consecutive components. Suppose if this is the original line, okay, of the Zeeman effect, and here we have one spectral line, and here we have one spectral line. So these are the two components of the spectral. There is a Zeeman splitting. So this separation between this original line and the component of the Zeeman is what we call as a separation between the two consecutive components of the transverse Zeeman pattern. So it means that we have to calculate d lambda. So that is indirectly they are asking to find out the Zeeman shift. So what is the expression for Zeeman shift? So the expression for the Zeeman shift is given by d lambda is equal to b into e into lambda square the whole divided by 4 pi m into c. So this is the expression for the Zeeman shift. So what the values, that is the what is the given data? So given data, let us list out. So the given data is B, that is the strength of the magnetic field they have given as 0.2 Tesla, and they have given lambda, so that is 600 nanometer. 600 nanometer means it is 600 into 10 to the power of minus 9 meter. And next we know the value of the speed of light, it is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. And but they have not given the charge of electron and mass of electron, or we don't have they have not specified the values. So let us consider, that is from the basic data or the basic knowledge that we have, that is let us only consider the specific charge ratio E by m as 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb per kg. Okay, so this is the basic data that is required to solve this problem. So therefore, now let us substitute all these values, okay, given data in the formula. So in order to calculate the separation between the lines. So now let us calculate or substitute the value of given data in the formula, as the value of B is given as 0.2 Tesla, and instead of substituting separately the charge of electron and mass of electron, I am directly substituting the specific charge ratio, which was written as 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 into, and what is the value of the wavelength that is given? So the value of the wavelength given is 600 nanometer. So therefore let us substitute the value of 600 nanometer in this particular lambda. So instead of writing 600 into 10 to the power of minus 9, let us make it the simplification as easy, and let us write the wavelength of the spectral line as 6 into 10 to the power of minus 7 instead of 600 into 10 to the power of minus 9. Now the value of lambda is 6 into 10 to the power of minus 7 the whole square, the whole divided by 4 into value of pi is 3.142, and anyhow we have taken E by m value directly, so therefore no need of writing the value of mass of electron once again. So leave it as it is and substitute the value of speed of light as 3 into 10 to the power of 8. Now let us simplify this numerator, that is d lambda is equal to 0.2 into 1.76 into 6 square, it will be 36 into 10 to the power of minus 14, 10 to the power of minus 7 the whole square will 10 to the power of minus 14 into 10 to the power of plus 11. In the denominator we have 4 into 3.142 into 3, so I will take it as 12 into 3.142 into 10 to the power of 8. Okay. Now let us simplify the numerical values on the numerator and the denominator. Okay, it will be equal to. So if I simplify this numerator value, it turns out to be 12.672 into simplification of powers will get you 10 to the power of minus 3 power on the numerator, and simplifying the denominator, it will be 37.704 into 10 to the power of 8. Now if I divide these two values, I will get the value as d lambda is equal to 0.33609 into 10 to the power of minus 3 remains as it is. In the denominator we have 10 to the power of 8. If I take this to the numerator, it will be 10 to the power of minus 8. So if I simplify this, the final answer comes out to be 0.33609 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meter, or further simplifying 0.0333609 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. So I have shifted this decimal point to one digit towards the left, so therefore it will be 10 to the power of minus 10 instead of 10 to the power of minus 11. Now finally we have d lambda is equal to 0.0336. 10 to the power of minus 10 meter means it will be nothing but Armstrong. So therefore this is the solution for this particular numerical problem. That is the separation between the original line and the component of the transverse Zeeman pattern. So the shift will be d lambda is equal to 0.0336 Armstrong. Let us move on to the fifth problem in this session. So the given problem is calculate the wavelength separation between the two component lines which are observed in the normal Zeeman effect. Remember this word, students, normal Zeeman effect. The magnetic field applied to this particular normal Zeeman effect is 0.4 Weber per meter square, or it is just taken as 0.4 Tesla, no problem. And the specific charge ratio is 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 Coulomb per kg. And the wavelength of the spectral line, so in the absence of the magnetic field, was 4000 angstrom. Okay, students, now let us understand what I mean by normal Zeeman effect. See, suppose consider that you are placed a source which is producing a spectrum. This is the source of light in the presence of the magnetic field. So this is the north pole of the magnet and this is the south pole of the magnet. If you observe the spectral lines which are emitted by this source of light along the direction of the magnetic field, then this type of Zeeman effect that you are observing will be known as a normal Zeeman effect. Now, if you observe the same spectral line in a direction perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field, okay, perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field, then that will be known as the transverse Zeeman effect. Now, in this problem or in this normal Zeeman effect, when you observe in a direction along the direction of the magnetic field or parallel to the direction of the magnetic field, so we are unable to see the original line. That is, we cannot see the original line. Okay. But we can see the components of the Zeeman effect. So these two are called as components of Zeeman pattern or components of Zeeman. So this is one component and this is another component. But if you observe the spectral line in a direction perpendicular to this, so here we will be having three spectral lines. The middle one will be known as the original line and these two will be known as the components of the Zeeman splitting. So in this problem they are saying about the normal Zeeman effect. So therefore, in this normal Zeeman effect, what we need to calculate? We need to calculate the separation between the two component lines. So this is your component lines. So we have to calculate the separation. Let us take this separation as d lambda dash. Okay, we have to calculate directly the separation between the components of the Zeeman pattern. So in order to calculate d lambda dash, that is the separation between the components, we don't have any direct formula. So we have the formula only to calculate the separation between the original line and any one of the components. So that is, we have only the value of d lambda. So what is the expression for d lambda? So the expression for d lambda will be given as b into e into lambda square divided by 4 pi m into c. So this is the expression for the Zeeman shift d lambda. So what is Zeeman shift? That is the wavelength difference between the original line and any one of the component lines. So this is what we call as d lambda. So that is given by b into e into lambda square divided by 4 pi m into c. So but we need d lambda dash, that is the separation between these two components. So what we need to do, first we have to find out d lambda, and if you multiply it by twice, why? Because this is d lambda and this is d lambda. So if you add or multiply by a factor of 2, then directly we will get the separation between the component lines. So let us write down the given data. The given data is wavelength around 4000 angstrom. So angstrom is 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. And for simplification purpose, I will write this 4000 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter as 4 into 10 to the power of minus 7 meter. And specific charge ratio, that is E by M ratio, is given 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 Coulomb per kg. And next we have given magnetic field, that is B is equal to 0.4. There they have given in terms of Weber per meter square. I have written simplicity as Tesla. Now let us substitute these values in this formula. We get the value of B is 0.4, and instead of writing charge of electron and mass of electron separately, I will directly write it as 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb per kg, and we have the wavelength as 4 into 10 to the power of minus 7 the whole square wavelength. The whole divided by 4 into 3.14, that is the value of pi. M we have taken as E by M, so therefore there is no need of writing M. Directly substitute the value of speed of light as 3 into 10 to the power of 8. Now if I simplify this numerator, we will be having 0.4 into 1.76 into 4 square is 60 into 10 to the power of minus 14 into 10 to the power of 11. The whole divided by 12 into 3.14 into 10 to the power of 8. Now, if I simplify the powers in the numerator, it will be 0.4 into 1.76 into 16 into 10 to the power of minus 3. The whole divided by 12 into 3.14. I'll take this 10 to the power of 8 to the numerator such that it becomes 10 to the power of minus 8. So, substituting this 0.4, 1.76 into 16 divided by 12 into 3.147. So, the numerator value turns out to be 11.264 into 10 to the power of minus 11. Because I have taken already this 10 to the power of 8 to the numerator, so therefore 10 to the power of minus 8, 10 to the power of minus 3 will give you 10 to the power of minus 11, and simplifying the denominator, that is 12 into 3.14, so we will get you 37.07. If I divide these two values, the value will be 0.2987 into 10 to the power of minus 11. So since we need the d lambda in terms of Armstrong, that is 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, I'll shift this decimal point to the left hand side so that the answer will be 0.02987 Armstrong. So this is your d lambda as discussed earlier. So, but we need the separation between the two components. So, what we have found out basically? So, basically we have found out the distance, that is d lambda, that is the distance, the separation between this original line and this any one of the component. Okay, so the separation between this original line and the component line is d lambda, but actually we need the separation between, that is, let us take the d lambda, separation between the two components. Okay, so how to get the separation between two components? Just we have to add this lambda again or multiply by a factor of 2 for this, that is for this. So therefore, separation between the components will be 2 into d lambda. So 2 into d lambda value is 0.02987 Armstrong, and if you multiply this, the final answer will be 0.0596 Armstrong.